Hello and welcome everyone to another discussion on the Growth Mindset Collective. Welcome, Nikki. So nice to see you again. How are you today?
Thank you. It's nice to be here. I'm great. How are you, Ava?
I'm doing great, considering it was a great weekend and back on Monday with hopefully a beautiful week ahead for us and for everybody else listening. So, what are we talking today about? We are going to be talking about forward thinking. Close your eyes and project yourself 3 years into the future. What do you see?
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, let's jump into the topic. Nikki, what do you have for us?
That is a true mindset teacher thing to say there, Ava. I want to jump a little bit between two things. And that is one, I was at a summit this weekend on AI, on artificial intelligence, and it kind of shook me in some ways and caused me to rethink some things in my own business. So I'm gonna uh, move the challenge forward, and I'm gonna give some of the aha here because they said these people weren't none of these people were mindset teachers, but they were talking about how entrepreneurs don't make it, aren't successful. One man said 97% of the small business people fail in a business, and another one said in the 90s, and another one said he wouldn't commit. But he was stating that the numbers are crazy high. And I am going to suggest that part of that is because while you're making the changes, you have to be looking forward and thinking forward, but it's about mindset. You have to have a mindset discipline, and in that part, what I got my notes here. So in that part, what we're talking about is proactive anticipation, future trends, needs, the challenges, planning, acting strategically um, to address whatever issues you have or your goals that you have, the needs that you have to project into what you're doing, the emotion, and then it's simply reacting to the present. So, you're engaging a lot of yourself, and mindset is an important factor to keep running in the current, in the stream on a consistent matter. It has to be embedded in your small business. You have to have mindset discipline and you have to be ready for mindset growth and looking forward. You have to be looking forward and you have to be present as well. And my bias is that's where a lot of the failure happens. You could implement, the click funnel and you could make $25,000 or $25 million, but you have to be present and you have to be able to do all these things in your mind. A lot of these speakers sometimes had to get off their subject to talk about the conscious, the subconscious mind, talk about fear factors, talk about the things that we talk about to get you back here. So it's very, very important when you're forward looking and when you're looking at a business to keep a mindset consistency steady and easy and practice it in the present and keep looking forward. Right, Ava?
That's right. And that's very good examples you have given us. I just want to welcome our listener here, Janine. Welcome. Today's topic is, as you probably know, forward thinking.
Hello,
So,
Janine.
yeah, we usually discuss the topic for some time, and then any questions and things like that, we usually keep it till the end. So, um, yeah. So, what else did you learn from that summit, Nikki, you were on?
Well, I felt very validated as a mindset, as a wealth. projector with my students because there's so much to be said here. Let me pull something up here again. And forward thinking is characterized by a focus of long-term thinking rather than immediate reaction. Like you never want to be in a reactionary position personally or in business. You want to be in control, so you want to be responsive, not reactive, because that really changes your forward looking. It diminishes your ability to be forward looking in your business.
Very good. So, you know, thinking forward is one thing, but how do you balance long-term vision with present action? Can you narrow it down a little bit for us?
Well, here's what, you can't learn mindset overnight. So you have a program. What does Janine do? Janine, do you have a program, a mindset program?
I'm a real estate agent.
Okay, so again, there's a mindset there. So Ava and I have programs that will help you. Like, let's say Janine is new or she's looking to level up. Janine would take our course, cause herself to create a course that takes up some of the space in her laneway as she's growing, as she's learning. She'll tell you this is part of her growth and development and manner of being. And you just keep the mindset, teaching, learning consecutive and moving forward and at a pace with the rest of your growth. Right, Janine? I mean, you can't take it all in and then out and in and out. And
Excellent. So what would you like I have some key strategies. So one of them is like vision with clarity when you're thinking forward. Define your North Star. You could say, what does success look like to you? In like let's say maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. A lot of people like I talk to, they're like, well, right now I'm doing this. But I said, but what is your bigger vision? Because sometimes you need to see that as well in order to balance yourself and pace yourself. What I find, some people, they start off on a business, things are not going right away the way they want, and they give up way too soon. And it's like,
Mhm.
pace yourself. What else? Like, even today, I was talking to one of the ladies I know, and she wants to start a business. She's like, I need your help, Eva. So we started talking. I said, okay, this is what you have right now. What else would you like to have? Because you have so many things you want to do, but have you given any more thought in this area and any more thought in this area? And then we were looking at pricing and things like that. I said,
Mhm.
you don't want to go too high, you don't want to go too low. You got to pace yourself, not just on what you have, but how much you're going to charge and things like that going forward. So it was a beautiful conversation because she ended up seeing more of like the bigger picture of what she wanted to see in the future. She's here now creating, but also thinking forward. Okay, right now I have maybe one program, but going forward, I like to potentially have three or four, and there are different levels. So it's always a potential to do a lot more than what we're doing now. So it was very nice balance, and then it did truly feel like she was okay, one foot forward, one step at a time. So yeah, you want to pace yourself. I do hear it quite a bit, like people get overwhelmed
Yes.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yes. Like
And
Ava,
then
you just took out a page out of strategic planning and thinking, and that involves developing the plan, strategies to achieve your future goals and to navigate your potential goals and to navigate yourself from this point that, Ava was taking you from.
yeah. And then you want to break it down too to action, like where okay, for the next month I'm gonna do XYZ, and then after that, like don't make too big of jumps, because again, sometimes you'll go too far too fast and then you fall back too hard, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing that, it's too much. So pacing yourself, I think, is very important as well.
Mm.
Setting those goals. I know one lady who's doing it quarterly, and it works for her. She's got a plan, she's staying with it instead of getting overwhelmed. It's like, I gotta do this now because I really want this to take off tomorrow. Well, there's lots to do in the meantime, because when you're starting a business, it's not just about the program, it's about how you're gonna communicate, how are you gonna branch out, who you're gonna hire to help you once you get bigger. And do you have a lawyer if you need one? Do you have an accountant? It goes far beyond that. So, thinking forward, it's not just about, it can be different aspects of a business, and not just business, even personal life. Right now, let's say you're a teenager, you're learning about the world, and then it's like, okay, well, what would you like to do going into the future? Are you thinking of being a doctor, a lawyer, or somebody? Okay, and do you have the resources? Have you done any work on what needs to be done? What kind of school do you have to do? Once you've done that, are you thinking about family? Are you thinking about traveling the world? Like, there's so many different areas, but I believe the biggest thing is pacing yourself, doing some research, and then really sitting there. It's like, okay, this is, sometimes things will happen in life where you're like, I'm not sure what just happened, but that's okay. We can't foresee everything, but when we stop and respond instead of react, like you were saying, it makes things much easier
Yes.
for not just yourself, but everybody around you.
Yes, I'm going to add something a little different to that, and that is like with your anticipation and forecasting and proactiveness. I think that for me, what works for me is that I meditate quietly and I pray it out, and then the meditation part is a state of mind or being that part of me could stay quiet all day or most of the day or some of the day. And in that, it's not a voice. It's not like a voice like Ava's going to hear me say, Ava, it's right there to the right.
I
You're
wish it
not
was that easy, right?
yeah, you're not going to hear anything that clear, but you're going to get something like you're going to get a gut nudge or an intuitive sense. And that is going to be your answer. Like your answer never comes to you in the language. It comes to you in a manner of knowledge, of understanding that you have within you and in your gut. So sometimes being quiet allows you the intuitiveness to make the decisions for moving forward as well. And also, like, forward-thinking individuals and organizations are adept at anticipating future events and trends. Like, don't expect this to be you now. That's why I said do the quietness, listen to the things that Ava said before that. These kind of things have to be implemented with you. They have to be taken ownership of, and it has to become a lifestyle for you, a manner of living. Like you have to give something up to get something else. Like, if you want to lose weight, you can't eat the donut. If you want to learn the work, you can't watch the movie. You have to give something up to get something else in return. And sometimes it's just quietness, or it's all the considerations that Ava's telling us. We have to kind of just or position ourselves um, and not be reactionary. Again, we can't be reactionary, and we have to allow ourselves to prepare to act in a positive manner. And it comes on, and honestly, when you're asking for answers and you live in a creative world, sometimes the answers come and you're not ready for them. You have to have faith, you have to have belief, and you have to have trust in yourself and in a higher state of mind. You have to have a higher power that you believe in. You just have to have faith.
Yeah, exactly. And just to give you a little bit of yin yang here between forward thinking versus fixed thinking. So fixed thinkers, for example, dwell on the past mistakes sometimes, whereas forward thinker would learn from failures and pivot. So fixed thinkers, they'll wait for opportunities, whereas forward, they'll create opportunities.
Mhm.
You can either fear change or you can embrace the evolution, move forward. Make decisions based on the present or make decisions based on the future. You
Mhm.
say, I hope, or say, I will. I know I will. It doesn't matter how much time it will take, but I know I will get where I need to go. So that's just examples how you can see, where you're at in, forward thinking or fixed thinking and things like that. So, you have to give yourself time, embrace it, and go from there. Something I wanted to add, and of course it skipped my mind now,
Well,
but go ahead, Nikki, take it because
I want to add to what she's saying. Now, the one thing you have to be careful of is the word just and but, because when you're looking backward or when we're at a certain level and we want to grow, I hear a lot of people insulting themselves. And then I say, "Hey, don't do that." And they say, "But," and then they give you a justification, or they say, "I'm just." If you have but and just in your sentence and the things that Ava was just talking to you about, check yourself. You're going backward.
yep. So, some questions you can ask yourself too. What does forward thinking mean to you, specifically in your personal or business journey? What mindset shifts are necessary to step into your next level? And how do you balance long-term vision with present action? So that's some questions you can already start, thinking about that will point you in the right direction, hopefully, whoever's listening. Another one, you can write a letter to your future self. You know, what do you see? A lot of mentors actually tell us to do that. One of them,
Yes.
well, there's many, but and I've done that a few times. Maybe not as much as I like to, but that's okay because you focus on one thing for some time and then sometimes you shift to something else because while you're doing one thing, for example, meditation, you come on with like Nikki was saying, you get some bright idea, maybe intuition kicks in, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, oh my goodness, thank you for the answer. I've been looking for some time. And then you sit there, it's like, that I came across that, but it wasn't loud enough maybe for me to hear it that time. Now I hear it and I know now it's the right time. So this is when you act and follow, your intuition and whatnot. And hopefully you achieve what you're going after. So anything else you'd like to add on, Nikki?
I just want to finish with this point, and and I say forward thinking means being able to envision potential outlooks of the future, right? And to make decisions based on foresight. If you watch a lot of the successful people that have gone before you, when you ask them a question, it almost looks like there's a 3-second pause before they answer you. And they'll put it back in their laneway, the question. They'll reform the question in their mind and they'll put it back in their laneway and they'll keep looking forward and they won't deviate. Like they won't take the question from somebody else's position and answer it from there. They'll take it from their own position and answer you from there. And that's where you always have to stay in your own position, in your own manner of forward thinking.
That's right. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed our little discussion on the Growth Mindset Collective today on forward thinking. Join us in 2 weeks as we talk about prosperity and things as such. So, I truly hope you guys have a wonderful day and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.